Danotube says, bring back Mama JF. Unless there are developments in necromancy that are unexpected, most likely it will not be possible to bring back Mama JF. Christ Fist sends $40. Thank you so much for this massive and generous donation. He says, if one day you are found guilty of first-degree murder, I want a refund. I'll forgive involuntary manslaughter. Well, I will not be accused of anything, because let me tell you, I have ensured that there was plenty of evidence that me and Mama JF, we truly separated in good terms, and she left, and I made sure that I left her in a safe place. So I am absolutely certain that there won't even be a claim of involuntary manslaughter, because the fact is Mama JF has been observed 2 days after I dropped her, and she was still alive and doing good and doing what she usually does, which is traveling around like a hippie. So it's like, from there, I couldn't protect her. Once she leaves me and goes out there, I can't protect her in a trip. But no, I'm not going to be found guilty of anything, so I'm keeping your $40. Keeping that in the JF Innocence Fund. Doubting Thomas sends a super chat. He says, Jeff, a perplexing part of your exploits. How did you manage to buy/sell your houses in so short notice, in such a short amount of time, all whilst on the run? Doing this requires multiple arduous meetings, transfers, etc. This would be useful info for us still in communist areas when shit hits the fan. Bro, I did this, and it's more complicated than you just said, okay? Because I'm in a special situation. I'm a widower, okay? I'm a widower with, property from Mama JF. I have to speak in her name sometimes. So it is so much more complicated. You have no idea the miracle that I've accomplished there. And I've done so with a family. And I've done so with selling without even knowing where I was going. Without even knowing... Well, I say widower. I'm not saying Mama JF is necessarily dead, but effectively I'm a widower. She's dead to me. I mean, she's gone. And so... so yes, technically I'm a widower. And so selling a house at one end of Canada, not knowing even where I was headed, and then traveling, living in hotels, and then coming in and sieging the house that I want to buy. And this can, and I'm going to tell you the story. So, we were hiding in ski resorts, and we were skiing, me and my girlfriend and my family. And my girlfriend was like, she's not a boomer. She's not a woman of skiing, And she was like, Jeff, there's only so much skiing I can enjoy. I was like, wait, give me 2 or 3 days. I need to think. We were skiing, because I had determined that ski mountains are the most protected place against social workers. I've never seen a social worker in a ski resort. I was like, keep skiing, woman. And eventually, on a ski, on one of these ski mountains, the real estate fairy just shows up. She was flying. She was looking like one of these K-pop singer woman. These young girls. She drops a little piece of paper on the floor in front of me, and the piece of paper says, you need urgent, aggressive legal representation. Call Doe and Urgenstein. Do it now. It's Urgenstein. And I was like, holy shit, this is exactly what I need. Aggressive legal representation. And I'm like, how am I going to sell a house and buy another one given that some of the assets are not even in my name, and I'm fleeing from the state, and I can't reveal to the state where I am. So we're at the hotel, and I call, and there's this legal assistant woman answering to me. I'm like, listen, woman, I want to talk to either Doe or Urgenstein. You give me one of your best 2 top liars. I want to talk to them right now. I don't care how much it costs. Any sort of talking with you or with any legal assistant that you might pass me to will be a loss of our time. You guys do not understand the complexity of my legal position. You suck. I want to speak to a lawyer that knows his common law. And she's like, okay, one moment. She comes back to the phone, and I was thinking maybe she's going to bring Urgenstein, or maybe she's going to bring Mr. Doe. And she's like, sorry, Mr. Doe and Mr. Urgenstein are not available right now. They are working. Although I can pass you to our legal assistant, Vanessa, and she will be able to answer all of your questions. I say, I really doubt this. So, but go ahead, give me Vanessa. So Vanessa answers, and she's like, so, sir, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I want to do A, and then I want to do B. And I'm not going to reveal to you guys exactly what I asked her, but, and then I want to do C. And she's like, sir, that would be criminal in so many ways. We couldn't possibly do this. Normally, people in your situation will do D instead. And I was like, I'm not a normal person. I am telling you that I can legally do A, B, and C. There is no reason why I couldn't do this. And it's legal. It wouldn't be a crime to do this. She's like, no, sir, that is impossible. Look, I'm going to go ask a lawyer, and he's going to explain to you how wrong you are. But that is not how it works, sir. We would be criminally guilty if we were to help you do this transaction. And I was like, okay, go ask your lawyer. You're wrong. I told her, you're wrong. And she took it so bad. She was like, sir, I'm going to come back to you with a lawyer. And so she goes, and she comes back. I thought, at this point, I'm going to speak with Mr. Urgenstein. At this point, I made my case. This woman is denied. And I was like, holy shit, I'm homeless, and this woman is trying to block me. So she comes back. Not even Mr. Doe, not even Mr. Urgenstein. She comes back, and she says, okay, sir. There is maybe, according to our lawyer, there is maybe a way in which what you say is correct. And I was like, you see, you try to block me? I know my common law. We can do ABC absolutely legally. I'm entitled. This is my right. And she's like, Mr. Doe would like to talk to you tomorrow morning. Can you come tomorrow morning at the office, 10 a.m.? I checked the map and everything. Holy shit, I'm hours away from his lawyer office, but I'm like, I'm going to drive throughout the night, and yes, I'm going to get there. I want to see Mr. Doe. So I arrive at the lawyer office, and this whole thing gave me such respect for lawyers. I generally hate lawyers, but this one was very good. So I look at the office, and it's like Tin Cheng Doe, master of the law, blah, blah, blah. So I enter the office, and she puts me in a conference room. It was this girl that I spoke to on the phone. And she's like, Mr. Tin Cheng Doe is arriving. And she opens the door. I look at the door, and I see nothing. And I'm like, holy shit, is he small or something? And suddenly he pops in the door and he's like, ha ha, Jeff! And I was like, holy shit. I was like, sir, I'm currently being pursued by the state. It's not the right time to surprise me. This guy shows up jumping in the door. Pin Chang Do. Holy shit. The guy is a North Korean style, South Korean. He's a Korean guy, but he's built like a super muscled David Duke, like super jawline, and his muscles are popping out of his fucking shirt. And so he's like, he sits down in front of me, places his paper and stuff, and he's like, you know what's my problem with Korea, Jeff? And I was like, I don't know. What is it? He's like, there's too many white people in Korea. And I was like, yeah, exactly. Too many white people in Korea. That is exactly what I've been trying to say this whole time. Korea should be populated by Koreans. And so I'm like, okay, Mr. Doe, let's go back to seriousness here. I want to do A, B, C. He says, Jeff, we're going to have to use old farmer's law. And I was like, yeah, farmer's law. I'm relatively aware. I know some of the legal principles underlying everything. And then he's saying old farmer's law. Okay, we're going to have to use a old farmer's law. He says, yes, Jeff. You see, when woman takes care of the cattle, just brushes the cattle, she gets a little bit of the ground beef. When woman goes dancing in the field, leaves the home, goes do some f***ed up things in the field, she gets no ground beef at all. And I'm like, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. No ground beef for the woman who goes to dance in the field. Of course. This is the kind of legal, creative work that I pay for. This is what I'm talking about. And so I'm like, so you're telling me that you're going to be able to do transactions A, B, and C? And he's like, I need to ask you one thing, JF. And he looks at me with his Korean eyes. Do you kill Mama JF? And I was like, well, sir, this is an extremely important question, and I thank you for asking. Because in my predicament, as you may know, people just do not ask me if I killed Mama JF. People are simply assuming that I killed Mama JF. And so it is very heartwarming to have the first person in these 2 years of my life to ever ask me the question. And no, I did not kill Mama JF. And he's like, okay, then we're going to do your transaction. And I'm like, well, Mr. Doe, wait a minute here. Tin Chang. Your woman right here. I spoke to her on the phone yesterday. She told me there would be millions of ways in which these transactions will be criminal if I was to do that. What changed here? He says, don't worry about her. She assumed that you had killed Mama JF. And I'm like, what the f, Mr. Doe, are you telling me? And I look at this girl, and you gave me legal counseling, assuming that I must be the murderer of Mama JF? She was like, whatever, bro. If you say so, if you say you didn't kill her, you didn't kill her. It's whatever you say here, sweetheart. And I was like, unbelievable. I am in a lawyer's office, and they're assuming guilt on me. And so I said, Mr. Doe, you have to check this woman. She's providing false information to people calling. And Mr. Doe was like, shut up. This customer is different. Most people kill their wife. This customer did not kill Mama JF. Mama JF just went camping. Mama JF really, really likes camping. Mama JF likes camping to a point that's even bad for herself. And I was like, exactly. This is what I've been saying. So, yeah, ultimately, your super chat was asking the question, Your super chat was asking the question, how did I do this? Man, I had to fight real estate agents. I had to fight people who were saying, oh, no, we're not doing this. Until I got my rights protected by a pair of two very competent lawyers. One at the selling point, one at the buying point. And it was like those were the only lawyers willing to do business with me. All of the others were not there. And it's even the woman of this law office was first telling me, no, you can't. But no, I can. So fuck y'all. Fuck y'all, I know common law. You fuckers. Ty Rogerson says, this sounds more exciting and difficult than the Iditarod. It was a crazy trip, my friend. It's not easy to be living in hotels, but I made it happen within 3 weeks. Within 3 weeks, sell, empty, move, buy, confirm the buy, and ultimately it's down to competent lawyers who were really willing to hear a complex story, not just one where, oh, I can just buy a house. No, it's like there's bank accounts and there's definancialization and there's money coming in being blocked by the bank. And it's like, no, it's not my fault. And yes, I have the right to that money. It was that difficult. But yeah, this meeting with Tin Cheng Do, the great lawyer, the great Korean lawyer, made me realize that I had attained a place, because he was in the province where I was moving to. I had attained male Asian civilization. Tin Cheng Do with his large muscles, his jawline. It's like my ancestors traveled from Europe to the eastern coast of America, only to eventually have communism fuck up my life on the eastern coast of America. So I continued traveling to the west, just like my ancestors have done. And what I found is a province in which that has met with Asian civilization. So there was one male running away from the communists of the east, and Tin Cheng Do, I don't know what's his story, how he got from Korea to Canada, but he traveled in the opposite direction. And it was the meeting of two males, ultimately, that allowed these transactions.